Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Breakfast Club, featuring myself, of course, Charm. We've got Cliff, Jazz,
Um,
Post Apocalyptic News Radio, and sadly this time, Luke and Tia are late again, and Piet is here.
Bruh,
Very epic.
don't jump me.
Sorry, Piet.
Hey, bruh.
I just got a message from Tia saying that she cannot join, and she'll explain later. So, uh, I'll go back in editing and put in why Tia couldn't come, but I don't know yet, so I can't really do anything about that. I'm sorry. And Artie, does everyone want to introduce themselves before we get in? I guess I'll start, and then we'll go down the list. Hi everyone, I'm Cliff's co-host Charm. Uh, I'm a student. I do voiceover. That's me. Alrighty.
why am I the host? I did not sign up for this. I don't know these people.
We're,
I just came here to play
We're-
funny
we're,
Megalomania.
we're,
That's
we're-
all
we're
I
co-
came to do.
we're
Bye.
co-hosts, Cliff. Okay,
You know
Cliff,
me.
go.
Fine. I do think. There you go. It's me.
Very descriptive.
Yes,
Jazz.
silent
It's a bit
onlooker.
This is the thunder.
I
of
guess
the
I'll go
force.
next. I'm Jazz. I'm a freelance illustrator. I specialize in concept and character design. Ex-military. Yeah, that's me.
I am the pie behind the pastry. That's it.
Thunder of the force.
Short and sweet. Love it.
Oh, that's
I
me.
absolutely adore that.
That is me. I am short. I'm sweet. There you go. Also, dummy thick. you go.
Yeah.
Let's not push it too
Colonel.
far now.
Okay,
Colonel.
post.
I heard
Okay.
an okay post, so in that case, good morning and thank you for tuning in to TBFC, The Breakfast Club. I am the Post-Apocalyptic News Radio host of the Post-Apocalyptic News Radio, your only source for the latest goings-on in this little corner of the post-apocalyptic wasteland we call home. My name is Seamus, and I am happy to be speaking with you today.
Ah, right. You
Very
really got that down.
nice.
You know how to do that. Should I
Yeah,
introduce myself? Should I introduce
Do we have
myself?
a word from Cliff?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually introduce myself. Hi, Cliff. Rookie guitarist, living in France.
Alrighty, I guess let's get into the first question, and then we had a first question planned, but I'm gonna derail this really quickly, just because I've made a post on this on the Hornycast server or Holycast if you're in on that, and I have been asked by Darkest Spider, what's the deal with airline food?
Well, I've only flown a handful of times, and
Oh man.
I don't get why people have a problem with it. If you're that hungry, I guess at the end of the day, I'll eat anything. But I don't know why, people shouldn't expect fine dining unless you're going first class. So you'll get what you're given, and you must deal with it.
Yeah,
There
as someone who's
is
flown a lot. Here, go ahead.
There is a legitimate problem with airline food, and it is not at all the problem of the airline. The issue is the altitude. The higher up you are in the atmosphere, the thinner the air becomes. The thinner the air, the more your nostrils dry out, and you depend on your nostrils to be able to taste food. So if your nostrils are dried out, you can't taste quite as well, leaving the food tasting bland.
Well said. I applaud you.
Science
Even
guy
though-
over here.
Man, he's a smart
Hi,
Mm.
Bill Nightly, also known as Post.
I try.
Yeah.
No, you do good. Well done.
As someone who
Dankeschön.
travels a lot, because personally, like, I've lived in a bunch of different places, or a few different places. Houston, New York, I've lived in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia for a few years. Kuala Lumpur was great. and my family loves to travel, so I have loads of experience on planes, and especially really long plane rides. I think my longest was like 22 hours or something like that. I think it was a direct flight from. Oh, I can't even remember. It slipped my mind immediately. But I have flown first class a few times just because my father is in the oil business, so he flies a whole lot, so he has a lot of credit with airlines. And so we'll just randomly get upgraded sometimes. And you don't in my experience, you don't really get crazy better food in first class. I think you just have a bit more options and it's a bit nicer. But the big
Fair
thing
enough.
is the leg room. So much more leg room. As someone who is reasonably tall, leg room is definitely an issue. Cliff is off attempting to get headphones. I really hope he gets some headphones. Come on, Cliff. Come on, Cliff. Get some headphones, buddy.
Like, I need headphones for the podcast. You're the only one who has headphones.
All I can
You can do it.
all I'm getting from the audio that I can hear from Cliff is that he's off in like the other room, like screaming around the corner, like, I'm trying to get
Sure.
some headphones.
I'm trying.
Colonel,
I
I'm attempting to
have
get the
a
headphones.
question.
Yes, Pope?
Yes.
Headphones, gamers.
Would bloopers from the Breakfast Club just be undercooked pancakes?
Potentially,
It'd just
yes.
be really terrible. It'd be terrible breakfast meals.
Buy the merch. Buy the merch. The Breakfast Club merch. Buy the merch.
We have merch.
Yeah, the merch.
Hang on. What I could do, I have multiple.
What's
Turn up my input sensitivity, but that will cut me off. Number 2, turn you guys down, but that means I can't hear you
Okay.
as well.
yeah, I've
Or
had to
number
turn
3,
down some of the.
keep it as it is.
Yeah, it's
What
been.
do you say?
Alright.
Yeah. The audio's been peaking a bunch, so I've had to turn down the audio input just in my OBS.
Yes.
Recording unpaused. We're back.
Don't touch anything, Cliff.
We have yes, Cliff. Do not move. Sorry, we've had to pause the recording multiple times in this space because we've been attempting to fix the echo, and Cliff seems not able to do that. Which is it's fine, but like Cliff, come on, man, blame Cliff.
Alright, blame Cliff.
Bruh.
Cliff, get a microphone.
I do. I have a microphone called laptop microphone. It's still a microphone. Still counts. By all
Shame.
definitions of a microphone, it is a microphone.
It's technically a microphone.
Except maybe by the definition of a sane person. But look at me, as if I'm a sane person.
I'm looking at you and your dummy thick, Cliff.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Damn, boy.
Let's start off with yet another question from Mark. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes.
Technically.
Why am I alone?
Okay. It is not a sandwich, and here's why I think it is not a sandwich. A sandwich includes something between two pieces of bread. A hot dog is a hot dog in one piece of bread, because the hot dog bun is connected. Which means
But
that it's technically a taco.
Charm, I have a rebuttal. I have a rebuttal. If you get a slice of bread and fold it in two, which a lot of people do if they do not want to use 2 slices of bread, is that a hot dog? Is that a taco? What would you call that?
That is a hot dog taco. That's technically a hot dog or a taco. Yes. You wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
You wouldn't call it that, but yeah. Just like how.
Yeah, here's
Okay, I'm gonna make a really obscure reference to Fallout 4. There's at a certain part by a lake, you can see 2 NPCs sitting and talking, and they're discussing sandwiches, and one of them asks, "Does that technically mean that a loaf of bread, that like a loaf of pre-sliced bread is a bread sandwich. And the other
No.
says, yes, it is, but you wouldn't eat it like that.
What wow. Why?
I mean, I would still say no because it technically doesn't have a filling other than bread. The point
It's
of a
an air
sandwich is that you have something different in between it.
It is a sandwich of whatever is in the ozone at the time.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is it the ozone?
If I may, let me propose this question: is a hoagie a sandwich?
The fuck's a
Am I
hoagie?
supposed to know what
is a
that
hoagie?
is?
What do you?
I
You
live
don't
in
know
a-
what
I
a
live in a s-
hoagie is.
I live in the South.
Bro,
but
I'm
not,
Italian,
Not
what do you
Southern.
want?
Ah,
A hoagie, it's a kind of sandwich. It's never mind.
There
My
you
point
go.
is mute. You don't know what it is.
You just said that it is a sandwich. So, I mean, bruh.
It,
do the hokey pokey and you turn around, and that's what it's all about.
yeah, but it's a kind of sandwich. The hoagie roll is a connected piece of bread. The sandwich is made in between the bread. It's very much like a hot dog bun. Well, it's generally accepted that the hoagie is a sandwich. Well, a hot dog, it's a piece of meat in betwixt two bread, sometimes with condiments. It is a sandwich, not dissimilar from a hoagie.
I mean, you could argue.
No, okay, wait.
You could
For
argue
me-
whether it's made with meat or not.
For me, it's the type of bread. Sandwich has a typical type of bread. At least here in Italy, when we talk about sandwich, we talk that little thin bread. We don't talk about big bread. And the hoagie has big bread. So for me, as an Italian, that's not a sandwich.
Well, now see over here in America, as long as it's bread and there's something in betwixt it, that there's a sandwich.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh dear, so uncivilized.
what on
Yeah, I
earth-
don't trust an American in the kitchen.
No.
You monsters.
Alrighty.
Many things to discuss
Yeah.
post.
Alrighty, here's another good question from Kronk on the server. Which do you prefer, pineapple on pizza or grilled pineapple on a burger? Neither.
God damn it.
I'm not
Oh,
one of-
No.
Okay, I want to answer this one first, then we can all answer it.
Oh,
Personally, I'm not one of those people that, like, hates pineapple on pizza because they haven't tried it. I have tried it and I just do not like it. I'm not a big fan of the sweet, plus kind of sour, plus the savory. With the pizza, I don't think it works for me. I'm not a big fan of it. But grilled pineapple on a burger is an affront to God, and that should not be allowed.
the
Just-
reason it hasn't become a thing.
No.
Why,
don't
why
do
you
that.
have to put Why do you have to put pineapple on random food? Why? Just eat pineapple. Don't put it in food.
Might as well make pineapple on a taco, bro. Like, who would? Bruh.
Don't give them ideas.
I'm gonna say don't encourage his behavior.
Pineapple on burrito.
Well,
Shut up,
actually,
Griff, stop.
hang on
Pineapple
now.
in a calzone.
Hang on,
Pineapple in my mouth.
Hang on. When I was working in the restaurant, I worked with a gentleman. He came here from Mexico. He taught me how to make tacos. The way he did it did include pineapples made into the taco.
What the?
It's delicious. I absolutely recommend it.
Okay.
There are some
Well, I am not a particular fan of either of those things at all. Pineapple should be, just it's a fruit. It should be enjoyed on its own or with whatever,
Ice
just
cream.
not on pizza or your burgers or your hot dogs.
it's-
No.
Well, nobody brought hot dogs into this.
The voice of
Oh,
reason.
It would have
No.
probably have been brought into it eventually, but any sort of food like that, like easygoing food, why are you adding pineapple to it? I just don't get it.
Yeah,
Commit
don't
high
put
treason.
pineapple on it.
It's all good.
What-
And then
Here's
What do you
say the
think,
funny
Pi?
yeah. Kidda, you go, and then we'll do the next question.
What?
Pi, you go.
What?
Here, answer.
What's your opinion?
On pineapple on
He,
food?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Good opinion,
Just
man.
Yeah, as a best response
Fuck like a
ever.
man.
Very simple.
Spoken like
Just
a man.
no.
Let's just move on, please. This is making me incredibly. My Italian genes are like, let's move on, please,
Yeah.
brother.
Poor
Foot Ghost, it's
Italian.
gonna be okay.
Poor Italian
No.
man. Poor Italian man. Okay. Next question. Yeah, I'm just gonna get to some of the questions from the server that we've been answered before we go on to some of the questions that our own Apocalyptic has posted for us. This is from Emma on the server. Out of all the existing mythologies, which one is your favorite and why? That's a good one. That's a really good one.
What was the question, sorry?
Out of all of the existing mythologies, which one is your favorite and why? That's a good question. I think they're all pretty interesting. I've learned about a good number of them, and I've learned about some of the different like creation myths and stuff like that from different religions, and I think it's all pretty cool. I think probably my favorite would either be actually I think it's probably like the Japanese kind of cultural mythology. So like I just think it's like super interesting and like cool to learn about and talk about because it's another culture and I think it's far different to like my own culture that I've grown up with. And I think that it's like it's really important to learn about stuff like that. And I think it's really interesting and cool. What do you guys think?
Whoa, man. Tough. Real toughie. I need a second to think about this.
I've spent quite some time looking into the different pantheons of the world. I think if I had to choose a favorite, it would be a tie. It would be a tie between the Greco-Roman pantheons, the Aboriginal faiths, as well as I can't help but love Tlechatlipoca. And I butchered that name, and I know I did.
That's fine. You should hear substitute teachers try to pronounce my last name. My
What
last
is
name
your
is
last name?
my last name is Guscott, Guscott. It's only been pronounced correctly on the first try once.
I have the terrible last name, which the thing is, it's terrible because it's a mix of Ecuadorian and British, which is two extremes. So you have, fuck it, I'm gonna say my full real name so you people can find me. If there's any particular bit that I need to cut out, then I'll cut out my full name because that's this boring bit. My first name, Jacemar, Jacemar, which in Quechua, an old language from South America, means king of the sea or whale. People mess that up so much. I've gotten Jasmar, I've gotten in Quechua it's pronounced Yasimar, so some of my relatives from my dad's side pronounce it like that. Anyway, sorry, I am master of going on large tangents. Blimcliff. Last name Tello McKeown. I've got the thing is not actually so bad in English to say, but in French where we live, I've gotten Tiru Makua, Makui, Makiun, Diu, etc. And I want to eat people's livers for saying
Yes.
such things.
Nice.
That wasn't even part of the question. Sorry. Master of tangents here. Master of pointless tangents.
I
Blame Cliff.
What was the question?
The mythology.
Favorite pantheon.
Oh,
Out of all the
yeah,
exist-
that
yeah.
question. That was the
God
question.
damn it.
Okay,
Cliff.
I'll read it again just for clarification. Out of all the existing mythologies, which one is your favorite, and why?
Oh, I I have a split choice of two. It's either gonna go because what I usually do when I want to find the best thing is just list off all of them. But I'm gonna try my hardest not to do that. But I know straight away, big no Christianity. Just Jesus is OP, man. He needs to be nerfed, like for real.
Okay.
Nerf
Apart
Jesus.
from that, it's gonna be a tie between Greek mythology, mostly because Zeus fucks like for real. My God. And number two, Norse mythology, because that's. Sorry, I just saw what Post put in chat. Got OP, please no. Anyway, Norse mythology, because I like the names, even though they're kind of. They made the days of the week, Frida and whatever the other one is, whatever the other ones are. I remember Frida or Freya or whatever made Friday.
Bruh.
Bruh.
You said all incredible names. Did you just say one, bruh?
Odin. There.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is a hard question for me as well because I've studied a lot of mythologies when looking into creatures to design, and I think one that I am especially interested in is probably actually Native American mythology of the Native Americans, especially looking at like Wendigos, skinwalkers. That sort of culture is very interesting to me. But again, as well, Nordic is very, it's very grand. It's with the amount of gods and creatures as well that existed then or were thought to have existed. But yeah, I think I like the Native American mythology.
Good choice. Good choice.
Good choice.
For me is the Sumerian mythology. I just love the fact that in the Gilgamesh is a hero of the Sumerian mythology, and he's goddamn powerful, like Jesus. So one day the gods are like scared of this guy. They're like, shit, this guy's too powerful. Let's make a rival. Let's make someone who can actually defeat him. So they create this guy. Don't remember the name. I'd say to this guy, okay,
Yankee Do, wasn't it?
Yes, Yankee Do.
yeah, and they say, okay, dude, go and slap that ass. So he goes, and then Gilgamesh is like, bruh, let's fight. Dragon Ball fight happening, and at the end, they're like, bruh, you're cool, man. You're cool. They kiss, they say no homo, and that was wonderful. So Gilgamesh, he has my vote.
Pie. I have
Yeah.
something to say.
Oh yeah, the Sonic mythology. Yeah, sure.
Literally just Sonic Adventure 2, bro.
God.
You can't tell me it's not just Sonic Adventure 2.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's Sonic
But
Adventure
That's pretty
2.
good.
The exact story.
But Shadow is a tsundere, not like the other guy.
Well, you don't know. You don't know his opinion on the matter.
Alrighty. Next
Bruh.
question.
My heater is going off,
Post hasn't gone yet, has he?
and
Yeah,
I'm
Post, go
right
ahead,
under it,
Post. Post.
so if I don't talk a lot, that's why.
Yeah, Cliff, get your push to talk on, my dude. Okay.
Right, I'll just,
Post.
Go
ahead and answer the question. Out of all the existing mythologies, which one is your favorite and why? Let's hear it. Post? You there, bud?
Yeah, I already answered.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did
Then,
he?
I did.
Then,
It was Greco-Roman, the Aboriginal
yes.
faiths, and Tuatshelaportli.
Oh yes, now I remember. Alrighty, next question. We just got one or two more until we get to the ones we had kind of planned from the beginning. Do you watch anime? If yes, which anime is your favorite? I personally, I watch anime. It's pretty good. I like it. Favorite anime? Ooh, that's a hard one. I know this is really stereotypical. I like JoJo's a lot. JoJo's is really good. I really enjoyed actually Cautious Hero. It's the entire premise is the hero is really overpowered but extremely cautious, which is actually pretty interesting. It's like 12 episodes. You can watch it in a day.
Wow.
It was really good. Cliff, you're up next. What's your opinion on Animu?
I don't watch anime. I ain't no fucking weeb. The end. I have a record. The only
Right.
comment I've ever put in any Discord that has an anime channel is the exact words, ew, weebs. Nothing else.
Well, to each their
But
own.
I don't mind weebs. You know, it's funny, haha joke. But I don't know. Just never really. I watched Pokemon anime like once. I watched a little bit of One Punch Man at a friend's house, and that's it.
I mean, it's pretty good. Alrighty, how about you, Jazz?
I'm actually with Cliff on this one. I can probably count the animes that I've watched on one hand. It's not that I don't like the style or anything. It's just there's sometimes the stories in that lot just aren't for me. I find them to be a little bit too crazy. I guess the first one I ever watched was Hellsing. The first anime I ever watched was Hellsing. And that, like, I just about put up with the weirdness that was in that. And then I watched Black Butler only because I was doing a thesis at university. So I've only recently watched Black Butler. And then there's Beastars, which I think everybody pretty much has seen here. But yeah, I thought I liked Beastars, and that was probably the most grounded out of all of them, to be honest, that I've watched.
Yeah.
Considering that all of them are animals. But yeah, I admit the style. I love the style. It's very beautiful. I've seen films like Spirited Away. I've seen films like that, but as for series, I really haven't got attached. But I love the art style. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Yeah, the art's great.
Mm-hmm.
Okie
Alrighty.
dokie.
Who's next?
So, I was a weeb. I had a period of my life that the only thing that I did was school and watching anime. It was like a phase. Now I don't watch animes. They don't intrigue me and they don't entertain me like in the past. But the best anime I've ever seen that made me cry like a goddamn baby every 3 goddamn episodes is Clannad. Clannad is so goddamn deep, so goddamn sad, and Jesus, even thinking about it, god damn it. So if you are very like you don't want to cry, if you don't want to cry, don't watch that anime. If you want to cry, welcome to the club and go and watch it.
Nice. Apocalyptic, how about you?
Well, I'm very much the same. There was a point in my life, generally around middle and high school, when I was an absolute weeb. I did nothing but watch anime, and it was amazing. But I kind of fell out of watching for many, many years. It's only recently that I've started watching anime again. If I had to choose a favorite out of all of that I've watched, I think I'm going to get judged hard for this, which is fine. I don't care what anyone thinks of me, but if I had to choose a favorite, it would be Sword Art Online, and the reason for that is because it's the exact fantasy that I want, you know, to be immersed into a game so completely. It's that's just what I want. So I think that's why it's kind of my favorite.
Good answer. Good answer. Alrighty. Shall we do some of the pre-prepared questions?
Yeah.
Alrighty. I have a story. I have a story to tell about this question. So I'm gonna ask this one first, and then we're gonna start at the beginning. Stupidest thing that you have ever done that you do not regret. Now, I must say, Apocalyptic, you spelled it regret, which is interesting.
Yes,
but
regret. Never regret anything.
no regrets.
Don't regurgitate now, people.
Yes, but here's my story. So, my friends and I, when we're separate, we're all like pretty smart individuals. Make good grades, stuff like that. Don't do dumb stuff. But when we're together, we're not always the smartest individuals, and that's how this story comes to beginning. It was, we were all over at my friend's house chilling. It was me, my friend Oni, my friend Paul, who has actually expressed interest on coming on this podcast, so I'm hoping to have him on pretty soon, maybe episode after next. And we can talk about some of this, and like, I've known him for a long ass time. He's one of my closest and best friends, and so we'll have a lot to talk about with him. But it was me, Oni, who was hosting, my friend Chase, my friend Paul, my friend Logan, my friend Connor. There might have been a seventh, but I can't really remember. Yeah, I think it was just the six of us. And usually when we're hanging out, we do like to do dumb stuff. We also love to play video games together, shit like that. But at the time, power was out at my friend's house, so no lights, no internet, no whatever. So we were like, what are we gonna do? We're all pretty bored. Like, well, there's like a public elementary school we could go, and we could get on the roof and run around. And we're like, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, let's do that. It was open. I'm not gonna say where or what the name of it was. And some random context for this. My friend Chase, at the time, had like a big thing for like it clowns and stuff like that, and like pranking people. So he put on a clown costume when we went up there. And so just imagine how strange this looks. 6 high school age dudes just walking, one of them dressed up like a clown, just walking over to a random school. Like, it looked quite strange. We get over there, we go up the stairs. The fence was kind of like creaked open, so we were like just slithering on through. And so we get in there. There was just a railing you kind of had to just hop over, and then you could get onto the roof. We're like, yep, hopped up there. It was pretty cool. I can't imagine how weird it looked to see 6 high school age dudes running around on a school roof, one of them dressed as a clown. That must have been a very odd sight. And we're just running around, being stupid, just kind of just vibing. And then one of my friends gets his phone out and opens up Snapchat and starts like recording. And like, what are you doing? Stop! We just immediately pounced on him like, no. Do you imagine how much trouble we're gonna get in if we did that? If we recorded ourselves? That would be a no. So we ended up like taking his phone away, like, bad child, no. And we just kind of like vibed up there. It was pretty fun. I don't regret it at all. It was enjoyable. Nothing ever happened of it. It was just a fun story. Alrighty, how about you, Cliff?
Whoa. I have another long story. Alright, sit down, children, and not children.
Oh,
just-
children.
I'm going to say.
Get comfy.
Anyway. Alright, so for a very long time, I have been an enormous fan of the wonderful show, not so wonderful now, but that's my opinion, known as Doctor Who. I'm sure post here can. Yeah. Anyway, so one of the first episodes that I saw once I started to get into it was the first episode of Matt Smith's era, The 11th Hour, in which, after a long comedic scene of trying to find various foods, he finds a bowl, he mixes fish fingers and custard. Right.
I can tell where this is going.
Me being, I would hazard a guess of 7, maybe 8. I thought, oh, that's the doctor. He's the smartest guy alive. Of course that's going to taste good if he thinks it tastes good. So, I asked my mother, can we get fish fingers custard? And she asks why. Naturally, because she is surely wondering what went wrong in her life. And so we go out, we buy the fish fingers and custard, we get home, I cook the fish fingers in the microwave, I prepare the bowl of custard, I dip the fish fingers in the custard, I take a bite, and it tasted fine. It was not terrible. It was fine. It was just, I think the main reason was because both of them was very, very over-processed foods. So there wasn't, if it was like well-prepared culinary school, blah, 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 fish fingers, then it would probably be a problem. But because it was cheap from Tesco's, not even Tesco's, from the co-op probably, you know, microwavable fish fingers, you know, there's not even any flavour to them in the first place. So, didn't taste bad. And I already like custard. So, no regrets. Tastes good. Post, you're not a true fan until you've had fish fingers and custard.
I actually have.
No.
Yes!
You all.
Don't judge us.
Oh, I'm
We hate
judging,
ourselves, don't
alright.
worry. We hate ourselves, don't worry.
Judging intensifies.
This has been story time. You can now stand back up, children. No need to sit down.
Excuse you. Watch your mouth, boy.
Sorry, Lieutenant.
Alrighty, how about you, Jazz?
Well, I've got two choices. I can tell a really boring story or one slightly more exciting, but is a bit more unreal, if you can get what I mean. I'll go with that one and see what you'll think. But so after my career with the military ended, I went into university, and while I was at university, I needed a way to make money, of course. So I became a reviewer for films with a local group of people called Raging Reviews, and I did reviews for them. And I was pretty good at it, apparently, because I got sent up to London in my second year, I think this was, of university, to go to London to the Netflix launch event. And my boss, who was in charge of this review company or podcast, whatever it was, said there wasn't going to be anyone too major there, but there were going to be celebrities there. So, you know, just be on your best behavior, do your research, be polite, you know, ask good questions, and yeah, just overall, you know, be well behaved and all that lot. So I did my research and I thought, oh, there's going to be a few celebrities here, and I'm allowed to take some photographs to get autographs if I wanted to. So I took a bunch of autographs and that, autograph paper to get some autographs if I could. And somebody was there that was going to be apparently working on Star Wars, so I took one of the new Star Wars photos as well, not even thinking that I would meet anybody like that. But I get up there and we're having a really good time. Launch event goes really well. We see what projects and films Netflix is going to be releasing. And then they have sort of like an after party where some of the celebrities and reporters and people from magazines all get together and kind of have a chat and a good time. And who would be there other than Adam Driver, who plays Kylo Ren, and I completely fucked up and called him Adam Diver.
Oh. Oh no.
Yes.
Not poor Adam.
Rest of the evening until he. I mean,
No, Adam.
I'm talking about it as if we were talking on all night. No, it was kind of like awkward, like hello, hi, passing kind of thing. But I called him Mr. Diver for the rest of the evening. So he patted me on the shoulder when the event was over and said, "It's Driver."
Oh.
And I'm just screaming, fuck, 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 in my head. But he very politely signed my photograph for me. And that was it, basically. But I felt so embarrassed, but didn't regret it at the same time, because he had a bit of a laugh. We both had a bit of a laugh. But it was probably the most awkward 15 seconds of my life.
Oh.
Jazz, I have something to say. You know,
What is it?
at least you didn't call him Adam Sandler.
No, God, no. I just, for some reason, thought it was Diver. I could not get over it. But to this day, I still have his signature. And yeah, every time I look it up, I think, God, should have done your research, Jazz. Should have done it.
He should have signed it as Diver.
No, God, I'd be embarrassed for the rest of my life. I wouldn't be able to look at it. But yes, and funny enough, after that, they didn't send me to any more launch events.
Ah, I wonder why.
Oh,
why.
yes, I wonder why.
Yes, I wonder why.
Mm.
Very important question.
Mm-hmm.
What should I get on my sandwich?
Oh,
Hot dog.
no.
No.
I'm thinking chicken, cream cheese, hot sauce, and depression.
Ooh, that's the
Do it.
best part.
The depression comes with maybe not depression, maybe just stress. Stress comes with the hot sauce. Alright, boys. I don't have any bread, so completely forget that idea. No, I do have bread. Aha,
Get this bread.
bread.
Sandwich making noises intensify.
Good beans. Yeah, good
Anyway,
beans. I was gonna get some beans.
Beans.
No beans.
what's your story, Pi?
Oh, I have a lot of stories of me being a dummy. Let me think. Okay, so let's go with that one. We were in a classroom. It was I don't know how you guys call it. Middle school? Does that exist?
Yeah. it
Middle
exists.
school exists here, yeah.
Yeah, the one between elementary and high school.
Yep, that's the one.
Mm.
In
Okay,
England, we call that high school, but you know.
bruh. So,
Bruh.
we were in a class and a guy fell off and started to shout, "Help me! Help me! Help me!" We were having fun. We were chaotic kids, so he was just having fun and screaming and while laughing. What I did was I was on the other side of the class. I hear the request. I hear the request for help. So I turn myself. I stare at him right in the eyes. I ran at full speed to what I wanted to do is to hug him. He was scared though. He dodged me, and what was behind him was a huge wall. So what happened next? I literally jump and try to stick myself on the wall. What happened next? After I fell over with a headache, a teacher from the class next to ours was like, the whole school were, how do you say it? Like, started shivered, like it moved a little bit. Like the whole school heard me jumping and kissing with my face the wall. And so the teacher goes around, enters the class, and she's like, "Oh dear, what happened? Everything okay? Everything okay?" Everybody's looking at me, and me being on the floor, I just stare at her and I'd say, "Yes."
Perfect.
Oh god.
And that is one of the story that hurted the most physically.
I would imagine.
Yeah, yeah. It was kind of embarrassing, but not as embarrassing as other stories. But that will be on the next episode. Buy the merch. Follow us on Twitter, on this, on this, on that. Thank you.
We have
Follow us
merch.
on MySpace.
We have merch.
Yes, we have a restaurant where Cliff just cooks sandwiches.
Yep.
Better be hot dogs.
I got a panini maker. I can make paninis.
Nice.
And that's why we are broke, because Cliff kept making sandwiches. Jeez.
Come on, Rock Formation. Stop making sandwiches.
Well, that's
Stop screaming.
I found
Jesus
the ticket.
Congratulations.
Okay,
Good
I'm
for
very
you,
proud of
man,
you.
my man.
I'm going to have to spend a substantial amount of time mastering the audio after this, just to stop it from constantly peaking.
Yeah. Cliff is turning
It
this
takes a
into the
little
Dark
bit of work,
Souls
but
into the Dark Souls of audio. But yeah, Post, what's your story, my dude?
I have a quick
Alright.
question.
Tell us your tale.
what is your question before I start?
Do you guys eat chicken skin?
No.
Yes,
I
of
know what.
course.
Yes, I do.
I have
Tastes
done.
good.
If you're eating it with a roast
that-
chicken, you eat it.
Just come. Hang on. What is? Oh right, okay. Because I'm eating this with chicken skin, bro. Good shit.
Nice. Alrighty, Apocalyptic, what's your story?
Okay, so this story comes from when I was working as an officer in the prison. Don't worry, it's not a bad one. But before I begin, everything I say may or may not be true. I'm a bona fide liar. You cannot use this to prove anything. So,
I see.
So, there was one night, I was working the night shift. Me and my partner were bored. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. Everybody was asleep. What are we supposed to do but kind of wait? We decided that we were going to do a little bit of research because we had a gentleman who stays in our facility. Who he had a certain he had a certain shortcoming. He was not necessarily the tallest of individuals. He was 3'1". So we were bored and thought, why is he here? What could he possibly have done to wind up here?
Post.
So yes.
Update. I spilled the hot sauce and it is all over my sandwich. I ruined the top slice of my sandwich.
Yeah, eat it. Don't be a
And not
pussy. Eat
only
it.
that, but the cap of the hot sauce has pierced the bread slice. So I've not only wasted a full can of hot sauce, I've also wasted a large amount of cream cheese and a slice of bread.
Eat it anyway. What's
Yeah.
the problem?
No regrets. Oh, I've just
No
got some
regrets.
more.
Anyway,
Thanks, Cliff.
Post.
Yeah.
As I was saying, we wanted to know why he was there because we're bored and we're idiots. So we pull up our system and we go to looking around. Now, neither of us know his name. So we're trying to find any way we can search for him. And we see that there is a section to search by height. So we type in 2'5", because that's what he looked to be. No results. Okay, 4 foot. I key in 4 feet, and lo and behold, there are 17 people in the system who are 4 feet or lower, but only one of them at our facility. He's listed at 3'1". Immediately, my partner and I, we look at each other. No way this man is. But we click on it, and we go to look, and we see that he is incarcerated for 10 counts of impersonation. My question: who on earth did this man think he could impersonate and get away with? My partner looks at me, dead in the eye, and says the following: he represents the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild.
Oh dear.
Are you sure he wasn't a prisoner who got in jail because he was crazy? Are you sure that was a colleague?
He was an Oompa Loompa.
Yes.
Oh god damn it.
Not the Oompa Loompas. No. Run.
How they
The Oompa Loompas are coming.
It was awesome. But again, may or may not be true. I'm a bona fide liar.
the Oompa Oompa police is the worst police, bro.
Yes.
Goddamn little shits.
Yeah. Alrighty, let's move on to the next question.
Yeah.
This is actually just the first question, but we've been kind of skipping around. The best job you've ever had, or the worst job you've ever had? Best job, probably what I get to do now. I get to do this podcast and be a student and get to do voiceover. It's really a dream come true. I'm really quite lucky. And then worst job I ever had, I haven't had many jobs as I'm still, well, like a high school student, pretty young. But, haven't really had any, like, bad jobs. I've just had unfun jobs. That's really hard to find one. I wouldn't say any of the jobs I've had have been bad. Just some have been like more labor intensive than the others. I do a lot of work in the garden, stuff like that, digging holes. Just because I like money. So I think I'll just pass by me, and I know Cliff, when we were talking about these earlier, you said that you didn't really have any job experience, so I might skip straight to Jazz for this, if that's okay with you, Cliff. Because I know you're making your sandwich.
Yeah, that's cool. Also, I have to clean up this hot sauce, so I need a minute, anyways.
Yeah, Cliff, maybe if you want to mute yourself for a bit while you clean up your hot sauce.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a plan, game.
Alrighty, how about you, Jazz?
God, well, I mean, to be honest, I haven't had many jobs as it is either. But I guess my favorite job that I ever did was while, again, I was at uni. I was doing a bunch of different things. I was, like, say, doing the film reviewing. But I also got the chance to go up to the Oxford Museum of Natural History and do some illustration work up there. And that was absolutely amazing. I was actually given a very important task of doing some reconstruction work of some long past animals. And we're talking long time ago, not even dinosaurs. I had to reconstruct a animal called a Anomalocaris. A different version. There are quite a few versions of this creature, and I think it was well over 300 or so million years ago. I'm not quite sure, but it was a great experience for me, and really opened my mind to what I wanted to do, which was illustration. And yeah, I just loved working up there. I got to see T-Rex teeth and all sorts. And it also gave me a very different experience of what different of levels of education was out there, because the Oxford University obviously is not that far away from the museum. And I actually got to go to one of their lectures. And it was a completely different experience to any education I had had in my life. But yes, just for the experience alone, that was pretty amazing.
Oh, so actual dinosaur. I thought you said like a long time ago, not even dinosaurs. So it's like,
I'm
oh,
talking
Genesis had a
past.
whole.
I'm talking past dinosaurs, before dinosaurs.
Okay, okay, get it now. Sorry.
But I did get to see some dinosaur fossils, but they weren't what I was working on.
Yeah. My father is a big, like, fossil collector. I believe I talked about this. Actually, no, I might have talked about it in the voice chat. I don't think I talked about it last episode. But if I did, then I'm sorry, but I might say this again. My father is a big fossil collector. He collects ammonites from the Dorset coast of England. Because that's where he grew up and stuff like that. He actually grew up in Chichester, but he loves collecting fossils on the Dorset coast around Lyme Regis. I actually went with him over the summer and spent a bunch of time in England with my family, which was really fun, and we went fossil collecting. And my dad has a huge number of ammonite fossils. For those who don't know what an ammonite is, it's like prehistoric nautilus. I'll go in and edit in a picture my dad has taken of one of his ammonites. He's big into
I
photography.
think
So
most people know what one
Yeah.
is, but yeah.
yeah, I do know some people who don't. So that's just for clarification. But
Yeah, we're even becoming an educational podcast.
yeah,
I have a mosasaur jawbone, part of one anyway, not a full one, but I have that sitting on my mantelpiece. Very
Awesome.
proud of it. Yeah, teeth on it are something else, and it's only a small one. But yes, so as a kid, you used to go out collecting fossils across the Jurassic coast.
yeah.
Oh,
One of my
I have a fossil. I have a fossil. My last relationship.
Oh, bless.
poor pie.
Requiescat in
Yeah.
pace.
But since my father has been like fossil collecting for a long time, he's friends with loads of people in like the fossil prep line of work. And one of his really good friends, I think it's either Chris or Craig. I don't remember, but he actually found like the most complete ichthyosaur skeleton that is so far. And there was a whole episode with the BBC and narrated by David Attenborough about that and like how it was and where he found it and the big like excavation that went on and all the fossil prep that went for it. And it was like really cool to watch because I've met the guy when we went to England. I met him and I saw the ichthyosaur skeleton. He has it in his backyard. And he showed us the shed. He has two sheds. One full of like fossils wall to wall. Like some of the prettiest stuff I've ever seen. Like I've seen like in there I saw fossils that were like better than the fossils I see in like the museum in my city, which is crazy. But that was the fossil tangent. I forgot the question, so I'll read it again for Pi. Best job you've ever had
Yeah.
and worst job you've ever had. Go ahead, Pi.
Best job, this podcast. Worst job, bakery. Because in summer, and it gets so goddamn hot, I sweat a lot. It's just staying close to the goddamn oven, taking care of the bread and of the sweets, while you're sweating litters. Awful, just awful.
No.
Yeah. At this point in Texas, with the heat, like, it is
Mhm.
incredibly hard to sleep with, like, a blanket in this heat. You just overheat so fast.
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
Alrighty. Apocalyptic. How about you?
The worst job that I ever had I worked for Kroger at a city I lived in a couple of years ago. And specifically, I worked in the Kroger gas station, and it wasn't one of the nice ones where it was a full proper gas station, with an inside and a bathroom and everything. No, it was a box in the parking lot, surrounded by a couple of gas pumps. And all of my products that I was supposed to watch keep people from stealing and was supposed to sell were outside of this box that I was locked in. It was absolutely dreadful because I had no support. I was alone. If anything happened, I'm out of luck. If somebody wanted to just drive up, grab a handful of things off of my display rack, and then drive off, jack I could do to stop them. And guess who was held liable if that did happen? I was. It was awful. More than that, you were expected to close the entirety of that box in 20 minutes. Now, this is an impossible task. If you fail to do so, well, then the manager of the store gets called, and then you get chewed out, and if that happens a couple of times, maybe about 3, you lose the job. So I started closing a little bit early. Of course, I would still help people, but I would just start the closing procedures, get it all off the ground and running. Well, this wasn't okay, apparently, as I got fussed after that, too. I left the job within 5 months. It was a terrible working environment. Kroger, don't work for them. You'll regret it. But the best job that I ever had, the absolute treasure of a job that I missed so very much, I worked for a local game shop. It was called Video Game Heaven at the time. It's since changed names. I'm not sure what it is now, but my job there was to assist customers, but my primary purpose, the reason I was there, I was supposed to teach people how to play Magic the Gathering and be available to customers who wanted to play Magic the Gathering. So if you walked in the store, you had your deck, you wanted to play with somebody, there's somebody on staff who is meant to play with you. Or if you're new, you're curious about the game, you want to learn, that was my job. That's all I did all day, and it was wonderful.
Magic the Gathering is just an incredible game, and working at a game shop would be, like, an awesome job. It's personally because of quarantine.
Truly.
Like, I can't really go to the game shop that I go to play Magic, so all of my Magic stuff is just sitting over there on the shelf. I have no one to play with.
I have a solution to that. I propose we do a Magic the Gathering stream. Who's down?
Yeah,
bro.
I'm
I
down.
haven't the fuck what that is.
I've never played it, but I want to. So
I've been
I
trying
can
to
teach
get
you.
Magic the Gathering to, like, the actual, like, computer version that you can play on your computer. I've been trying to get that to work, but it just does not, so I can only really play the physical version, which might be a
Perfectly
problem.
fine.
But we can
No,
figure that
no,
out.
That's fine.
We can figure that out. Yeah, we can do a Magic the Gathering stream or something like that.
All right, let's do it.
Gamers.
Gamers,
rise up.
rise up.
Nerds.
Jazz is just.
Right.
I can tell that Jazz is just disdain. Craziest thing that has occurred at work. That is an interesting one. I guess I'm gonna count being a student as my job. I mean, it's
Yeah, let's go.
it's what I do on the daily basis. So let's think something crazy that happened in work or at school or something like that. Oh, here's one. This wasn't like actually at school, but it was on like a big like school trip. 'Cause it was like it was my grades last year at that school. 'Cause we were graduating that year. So, and for that, and they always do like a big like hiking backpacking trip up to Colorado, which it's amazing. I love it. Like 50-pound backpack, hiking up the mountain, like that's the best. I fucking love that. But craziest thing that happened. Well, there was many crazy things that happened. I'll name a few. Before we went up the mountain, we spent a day or two down at this like little boot camp at the base of the mountain, which was pretty cool. Just like a huge, massive tent thing, and it was really interesting. They had a bunch of stuff to do. We got to go whitewater rafting, stuff like that. It was a great time. But at one point, we were finishing. We were doing like a high ropes course. Me and my friends, with like a bunch of the classmates, and we finished early because we were speedy boys, and it was starting to rain. So we're like, let's just head back to the tent and like chill out in the tent for a while until we're gonna do more shit. And so the teacher's like, all right, go do whatever you want. Like, I bet. Let's sit back. We head back to the tents. We get in the tents, and then we see some girls are about to walk by, and then my friend Chase just screams, "Logan, you don't touch men there!" And then of course I scream, "Chase, put some underwear on!" And we just made an afternoon out of that, it was very interesting. It was,
If
Sounds
you
hot.
say so.
the looks on their faces were just complete and utter surprise, but they were also laughing, which was it was fun. We got to enjoy messing around. And then I'll probably end up talking about this trip more than once as like more stories come to mind, as I don't it's not something I think of often, but when I think of it, like I usually something random about it will come back to me. So I might talk about this on a later episode. But go ahead. I know Cliff also doesn't have much work experience, so Cliff, if you want to talk about something crazy that happened at school, or if you'd rather just move on to jazz.
I can. I've not got. I've got a couple of work. I did work experience. That's about it. So, and I need to do something real quick. So, maybe come back to me in a minute, bro.
Alrighty.
Oh God, I wouldn't. I mean, there's some things that I simply cannot discuss about some of my things that happened during my careers. I guess recently I've been employed by a security agency, and basically I monitor one specific area, and we go to different places wherever they want to. I guess, I don't know, one crazy story happened during bonfire night. Stupid motherfuckers were playing around with fireworks, and basically just trying to fire them at cars and houses and whatnot. So yeah, things got really crazy. A huge fight broke out between our security personnel guys and I think about 8 other people. And there were only 4 of us, me, another lady, and 2 guys. And yeah, we took a bit of a beating that night. I broke my 3 ribs, I think, and my middle finger got broken as well. And the other guy that I work with, he got his jaw dislocated. Yeah, but it was a crazy night. Eventually, the police did assist us, which was great, and we did secure the situation. But yeah, it was a crazy, crazy night, and the worst injuries that I've sustained during my career.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was crazy. Like I said, I did have my few injuries during my time in the army, but I've been injured more just doing security work than I have in the army.
Yeah, luckily voice acting is very tame. I don't. The microphone does not attempt to kill me.
I'd be worried if it had.
Yeah. Alrighty, Pi. How about you?
Oh,
Okay, let me think. The probably it was when it's not really funny, it's not crazy enough, but so as I said, I worked with in a bakery. So one time, like this famous Italian baker came in, and basically, poggers, like we were all like, "Oh my God, that's him! Oh my God!" So we were. The crazy part is that he just came in, he watched our food, he said, "That's good shit," and he left. So, but that was the best moment for the owner of the bakery. Like it was fangirling so much. He handshaked. He did a handshake with him, and then after this famous baker left, he was like, I'm never gonna wash this hand." And basically, all the people in the store were weirded out by our boss, and he just looked awkwardly at everybody. He's like, "Okay, everybody, let's keep working." And he went back to his office. That's it. Pretty
Nice.
epic. Post?
Well, the absolute craziest things that have happened at work were stories in the prison that I don't think would necessarily be appropriate to tell. So I will tell the second craziest stories. Those took place over while I was at the restaurant, actually, and both, funny enough, have to do with fire. Neither of which were in the kitchen. There was one day where I was smelling something burning all morning, and I was very concerned as to what it was, because normally if I smell something burning, it's in the kitchen. Somebody's left something on the stove too long, or somebody's gone and dropped something they shouldn't have into the fryer. But I'm looking around and there's absolutely nothing wrong in the kitchen. So I come out into the dining room where it's a little bit stronger, and I walk over to the bar. And at the bar, it's the smell of smoke and burning rubber. So I asked the bartender and the waitress, who happened to be working at the time, "Do you either of you smell that?" And both of them, yes, we do smell that. And we looked and we can't find anything. It's like, well, just because you can't find it, that's still a problem. In fact, I'd wager that's a bigger problem. So I get to looking around, and I look behind the bar, because the bar, it's not built into the wall. It's a separate little stand thing that they've gone and put in because they're cheap. But I went and I looked behind the bar, and I could see where the refrigerator, where they keep the colder drinks on the floor, the wires connecting into the wall, that has caught on fire. So I lean back around, I look at the bartender. "Hey, there's a fire." "No, there's not." "Yeah, there's a fire." Bartender comes over and look. "Oh, there's a fire!" So I casually walk over, and it just so happened that one of our maintenance workers happened to be right there. I said, "Hey, there's a fire. Can you handle that? I have orders I have to make." So he comes over and he looks. He's like, "Yeah, that's a fire." It's like, "Can you handle it? Can you get me a fire extinguisher?" So I go back to the kitchen, because I don't know where the one at the bar is, and the bartender is, well, they're panicking. So I go back to the kitchen, I grab our fire extinguisher, come back up, I say, "Here you go, handle it." He says, "You got the extinguisher, you handle it, you..." Alright, so I go to pull the pin. Now, the thing about the pins on fire extinguishers, they're held in place by this thin plastic thing. It's supposed to tear easy, but it's there to keep the pins from falling out. Somebody, I don't know who, thought it would be funny to replace that little breakable plastic circle with a zip tie. So
Oh,
I go
no.
to... Oh yes, I go to pull the pin, only to encounter a slight problem in that zip ties are not designed to break. So I can't get it. I look at our maintenance friend. "Do you happen to have a pair of scissors on you?" Naturally, as we are at the bar, no, he did not. So the bartender, who was still panicking, says, "Oh, I have a knife," and runs over to their little. I guess it's a little spot where they prepare drinks. Well, they've been cutting lemons, so they've got a little paring knife. Grabs it, runs over, in such a panic, they didn't realize that they grabbed it by the blade when they grabbed it.
Ooh.
And
Yikes.
they've started bleeding all over the bar.
Damn.
Knife from it. They realize what they've done now that they've let go of the knife. They go a little bit pale. I'm worried they're about to fall from shock. Meanwhile, I'm trying to cut this zip tie. The maintenance guy, he's just having a laugh because it's a ridiculous situation. I get the zip tie cut off. I throw it back behind the bar. I get the fire extinguished. I look back around, and the bartender is sitting down on a seat. And the maintenance guy is talking with the bartender, trying to calm him down a little bit. It's not working, but trying. And the poor server, who's trying to take care of customers, is now cleaning up the biohazard that our poor bartender, who in a panic has created.
Wow,
No.
that is chaos.
It was a lovely day.
Just sheer unbridled chaos. Like, what can I
That
say?
is the second. That is the second craziest thing that has ever happened to me at a job.
Lovely. Lovely.
Yeah. Alrighty. I have a topic that I know we've all been itching to talk about, and we've saved this for last. And I think we'll cover this topic, and then we will have to end it here. But the other day, while we were we got onto the topic of biscuits, and
Oh, here we go.
We're about to
And
fight.
all
We're
of
gonna
all of us live in different countries. Apocalyptic and I are American, and Cliff, Piede, or Pi, and Jazz are overseas in Europe. And
Technically not Europe anymore, seeing as we decide to drop that.
yes,
Cringe.
committed cringe. But
Hmm.
now we need to decide, and we've had the argument between what is better, an American biscuit or an English biscuit. And I'm gonna say something first. As a person who has been to both countries and tried both kinds of biscuits, the English biscuits are just better.
Oh, you're
They
a
are-
good boy,
You're wrong.
Chum.
They are
Good
they
boy.
are better. American biscuits. Okay, some of my the American viewers are going to hate me for saying this. They taste like beige sadness, and I dislike it.
You just haven't
If-
had good biscuits then.
I have had homemade biscuits, and they
Have
still
good
taste
biscuits. They're called British biscuit. They're called British
Find any
biscuits.
exactly.
American.
They taste the American biscuits taste like beige sadness, and I don't like them.
You have not had
British
a good
biscuits.
biscuit then.
Because you can find any in America, bro.
Mhm.
British biscuits are just so much better.
From
You-
what I've seen, British biscuits are nothing but wafers. Thin, useless wafers.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
gonna get you,
no.
boy.
Now, if we
Simple
refer to the image that I have posted in chat, is it possible to get this image onto the
That
recording?
is
That
not
would
a
be
fucking
perfect.
biscuit.
That
Okay,
is, in
I'll-
fact, a biscuit.
That is
No.
Okay, I
No,
will.
it's not a biscuit. It's a
That's-
dumpling.
No, that is not a dumpling.
That is a
Dumplings
piece
are very
of bread.
different.
It is a sad, lonely
Bruh.
piece of pastry in a waste that you seem to call gravy.
That is a cheddar garlic biscuit bathed in butter and drowned in a sausage sage gravy. It is
Bruh.
absolutely divine.
I'm literally biting my lip and making it bleed right now. I am. Ooh.
I look like I'm bleeding because of the hot stuff that I spilled.
It's a brisket. 'Cause it's a
English
bra
biscuits
moment.
are just better. They are
Right,
simply
anyway.
better. They are
Italian
superior.
biscuits. Italian biscuits. Everybody be silent. There you
They-
go. I won. Next question.
I think we need
wait.
to clear something up. I mean, you guys from America, I think, call biscuits cookies, right?
Yes.
I believe
just-
that's what it is.
Evil.
Biscuits here are simply biscuits. They are like a treat, like a cookie would be. But that, my friend, the picture that post-apocalyptic has posted in chat is not a biscuit.
I'll have
You know
to,
what I
I'll
think
have
it
to
is?
edit all this in.
You know what I think it is? I think it is a overcooked English muffin.
It
That
looks like a
is-
muffin.
that is a.
It looks like an
You
English
are
muffin,
asking
yeah.
to fight, sir.
Oh,
It
we'd
looks
win,
like
darling.
it looks like an English
We
muffin.
would win.
What are
I do
those?
love biscuits.
Oh
Yeah, I know.
shit!
I understand
Is that an
there are
off-brand
savory
churro?
biscuits.
Those are goddamn amazing biscuits.
Oh,
Have you heard about tiramisu? Have you heard about tiramisu? That's what you put
Yes.
in it. That's
Oh
what the
yeah,
biscuit. That's the biscuit you put in the coffee and then you put. It's so good.
a bit.
It
One
looks like a
second.
breadstick.
It's not a goddamn breadstick. Do not. I don't
I
accept
want to say a
blasphemy.
biscotti. What's it
Biscotti.
called?
Oh,
Those
Yeah.
are biscotti. And the type of
Biscotti,
biscotti,
yeah.
their name is Savoiardi, and they are
Mhm.
goddamn amazing. All the Italians
Mm.
that are gonna listen to this are gonna be like, yes, because it's the fun fact. You said sponge fingers. I don't know what that is, but
they're the best.
Savoiardi are pretty like if you just put it you just put them in the milk for not even 1 second. You just like bloop, and you take it out, and it's so goddamn good because it's half like it's not hard like a normal biscuit would be, but not even too much. It's not even like melting apart. It's it's so good. No, those are
Mm.
not. Those are not. What the hell is that? Breadsticks. Those are not Savoiardi. Get this shit out of here.
I'm not saying that
Thank
there's.
you.
I'm not saying that those are Savoiardi. That's
They're the same?
They are the
Savoiardi.
same.
Savoiardi are amazing. But breadsticks.
No. Yeah, they're not
My
biscuits.
blood.
They're bread.
Yeah, that's
My blood is
that's
boiling.
bread. That's yeah. You get that. You get that at Olive Garden. Just kidding. I don't go to Olive Garden.
I mean, I'll admit, I'm not
Okay.
a coffee drinker. I do drink a bit of tea, but when I do drink tea, I always have a rich tea biscuit. And that what defines a biscuit here in the UK.
Oh, I know what my favorite biscuit is. Easy.
I'm just about to post.
I already posted a picture of a rich tea biscuit.
Yeah, that is a rich tea.
Beautiful. That is.
Hey.
They are. Oh. Do not make my heart flutter, Jazz, with these beautiful.
Exactly, works of art. I mean, some of them
Oh,
definitely
nice.
better than others, but
It's been years since I've had a nice biscuit. Sorry.
There are-
but
there are even
since I've
biscuits-
been eating for so long. Oh my god.
There are even biscuits called nice biscuits, so they must taste good.
exactly, yes,
Do you have
exactly.
American biscuits called nice biscuits? No.
Oh, I can't get those in
These-
America, and I'm just so sad.
Jammy Dodgers. Oh.
One of
Good
These
old
pictures you
Jammy
have
Dodger.
posted. These pictures you have posted are not biscuits; they are cookies.
No, they are fucking biscuits. A cookie is a specific type of biscuit, I will admit that, but they are ones with simply chocolate chips or different types of chips in. That's all.
So you're saying that any biscuit with any kind of chip is a cookie. It is otherwise a biscuit.
Yes.
Is that-
Other than that, yes, it's a
What about
because
What about
biscuits
Oreo
can
raisins?
sometimes have two layers to them. Like a custard cream is biscuit with like cream and then biscuit on top, like an Oreo would be. An Oreo is a biscuit.
Oreos are not biscuits; they are cookies.
No,
it's a biscuit.
it's a
Oreos are
biscuit.
sandwiches. Oreos
So-
are sandwiches.
I've just posted an
Well-
image in the chat that I will edit this in post so that we can all see this. But
They are scones.
a Dorset knob is, I wouldn't call it a biscuit. It's just the name
a
is
scone.
the
Scone.
name is
It's
funny.
a scone. It's a scone.
You
It's what we
Yeah.
call over here is a traditional cream tea, which is a scone with cream and jam in it. And wherever you go in Britain, any cafe during summertime, you'll be able to purchase a cream tea. And if you are not allowed to have a cream tea, then you shouldn't be serving food in the UK. It's
Yeah.
mandatory. You have to serve a cream tea if you have a food establishment.
Exactly.
Alright, so what you're saying is I need to move over there and open a proper US food restaurant.
No, absolutely
wouldn't-
not.
I wouldn't
Even-
say that U.S. food is very proper. It's very rich, and it's full of saturated fat. And
But
I
even
will serve
when,
you some good southern home cooking, I guarantee it'll be the best thing you ever eat.
Even when we do open American themed restaurants over here, it's not purely American. There are different spins to it. I don't know. It's just not what I imagine it would be like. It's got like a British feel to it.
That sounds absolutely dreadful.
Oh, somebody's going to be feeling the edge of my boot later.
Excellent. Come at me. I'll battle you. I'll lose, but I'll do it.
Oh, you'll lose tenfold, my darling. Tenfold.
Hey, favorite type of biscuit? Jazz, because she's a snack.
Wow, okay.
Hell
yeah,
boys!
I am more than a mere mouthful, my dear.
Okay, then.
Come on.
Well, I guess.
And on that note, British overrules American biscuits.
No.
Heck,
Post
Hector.
is the only one voting
I'm
for
just
British.
gonna
here.
say
I
that,
think
I'm gonna say
you're
this once.
outnumbered, Post. You are outnumbered.
I'm
I
gonna say
love
this
democracy.
once. I'm
I may be
American and
outnumbered.
British, and I'm choosing the side of the British. Heck, dirty bean water
Mhm.
tea is better. Leaf water.
Hell yeah.
I may be outnumbered, but you know what? It's not the first time America's been outnumbered and come out on top. USA. USA.
Bruh.
He didn't come out on
Bruh.
top.
We have cricket.
We do have cricket, and even after all these
Um,
years, I don't fucking understand cricket.
I actually,
No,
I have a semi-understanding of cricket. It's. I
You know what we
understand
have? You know what we have? You know what we have? This
What do
is
you
one thing that I hate about America. This is one thing I despise about America. The fact that they call a brake van a van that breaks. They call a brake van a caboose. Why?
What? I have
never heard that.
I have never heard that.
All right. Okay. So listen up. You know, at the back of a train, there's the thing that, like old, like steam trains. There's the thing at the back of the train that
Oh,
helps with
The end of the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Carriages.
Yeah. That's a brake van.
Oh yes.
Brake. It's a van that breaks. It's a brake van. That. It's a van that breaks. That's what we call it. So it's a brake van. Why do you call it a caboose?
Well,
I-
I don't know. That's just what it is.
That's just what they call it, dude. I don't know why.
Press X.
Yes, it's an American conspiracy. We all know why, but we won't tell you.
I mean, it's like our chips over here. We call our chips. Well, I think you call them fries over there, but over here they're chips. And our crisps are what you would call chips, I believe.
Exactly right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't
Can
know.
we just say British food is better and post?
Like if you went up to a fish and chips and said, "Could I have fish and fries?" I think they would punch you in the face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, tell you what. How about I one day cook for each of you a proper American meal, and then after you've had my cooking, you can tell me whether or not it's better or worse.
Okay.
I mean,
We can prepare perfect rich tea biscuits with the most excellent brew you have ever.
Bruh, look at these two countries flexing their food while Italian food is
I
the
mean,
best food in the world. Bruh,
well,
kind of
I'm not
cringe.
denying that. I am not denying that Italian food is fucking
No, yeah.
amazing. But when
Let
it
me
comes
flex.
to
Can we-
comfort-friendly home cooking, I don't think there's anything better, in my opinion, than the British for
Yeah.
comfort, homely food.
I
We have
second
not
that.
even delved
Yeah.
into it. Let's do that.
I hate to have to do this so abruptly, but it's been an hour. We've actually been recording for an hour and a half, which is great. It's been I'm glad we've gotten to do a longer episode, and I think at this point we might have to say goodbye and see you guys next time.
Wait, I gotta do a
Bye.
shout out to my boy Spooks and the Hornycast. I promised him to do that. So, shout out to my little spooky boy. I'm sorry, I had to do this. I'm sorry.
Oh, I too have a shout out to make.
Oh yeah.
I want to shout out to my friend Paul. I mentioned him earlier in the stream. I'm really hoping to have him on soon so he can come on. He's a really cool dude, and I just want to shout out Paul. So I know he watches these, so shout out, dude. Let's try to get you on here.
I have no one to shout out yet, but if anybody wants me to do
I
a shout
definitely-
out, just leave in the comment sections below for next
Yeah.
time.
You've opened a terrible can of worms.
Yeah.
I've
Make
two
sure
shout-
to if you guys have questions you want us to answer or topics you guys want us to discuss, put them in the YouTube comments section. Because I checked that. I checked it on the last video, and I'll be checking it on this one, and I'll note them all down, and we'll try to talk about them next time.
I mean, if you ask nicely, I might say it in a slightly more seductive voice.
Oh no,
Oh, so spicy.
my pee pee!
I've one very, very, very important person to shout out.
Alrighty.
Shout out to my dog who had to take for a walk an hour before the cast, who took a shit in the middle of the road and we did not have a single baggie.
Well, whose fault is that?
That's your own fault, Cliff. That's your fault.
Can I give this-
Cliff.
Why are you causing problems for everyone?
Guys, we need
Can I give the actual?
for those who are
Because,
watching, would you guys kindly get the hashtag blame Cliff?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
We need to get
Mm.
this.
Friendly, blame Cliff.
Blame Cliff, always and forever.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody. You take
Bye,
care
guys.
and be good people.
Be good people, guys.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci. Arrivederci,
Alrighty.
boys.
See you all next time.